like to say that I really believe I've undone the YouTube addiction that I created. Let's get straight into it. I will talk about another topic, but scrap that for now. You gotta understand, first of all, this shit took multiple attempts. I've been attempting to do this for years, but this is the one that's stuck. This was during A-level times when I knew I wanted to change, but only put a little action into getting that happen, into making that happen, sorry. Yeah. This was during a time when I was learning about like the dopamine fast from the improvement pill, I think. I scribbled down all the notes on paper, and I remember attempting to follow the advice. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I know for sure that I made an attempt during April 2020, which lasted for about 4 days. I journaled my experiences. I was doing this as I was going to school. I'm not going to school anymore, thank fuck. Most of the shit I was looking at and that was going in one ear and out the other, I haven't needed to apply in my real life, and it never really did apply in my real life, the stuff that I was learning in school. That was biology, chemistry, maths for A-level, and then all the GCSEs and extracurricular stuff that I was doing. Most of it I didn't actually need in real life, but here we are. Alright. So yeah, this has taken years worth of attempts. I remember trying it that time, but it only lasted 4 days. And I can really understand, or at least make suggestions as to why. I didn't have a backbone of healthy and wanted habits for this. I'm purposefully not using the words good and bad, because what does that even mean? I don't like using those words, because I've spoken to kids before and that's how they speak. Oh, this is good, this is bad, I can't do this, I can't do that. Fuck that way of thinking. I'm not saying fuck them kids, I'm not saying that, but fuck that way of thinking. However, if you want to use those words, fair enough, but I won't. I purposefully won't. Unless I'm taking the piss. But this one right here is carry on going. So there was that attempt. I was journaling for 4 days. I was even journaling while I was eating. But I remember breaking it whilst eating some rice and stew. And I went back to watching David Dobrik content. Around this time, a couple of months or so ago, I was watching this lady who presented the theory that David Dobrik and the friendship circle that he's around and seems to be like the main man of in his channel, that could be a cult. Cult usually has negative connotations, but maybe that could be used for a greater purpose. In my head I was saying for the greater good, but nah, no. Maybe that sort of group could be used for a greater purpose. As in, first thing that came to mind was the KKK. I don't know why, I don't really think about slavery or anything like that much. So I don't know why that came to mind, but anyway. Yeah, gotta be aware that this shit is taking years. It's taken years to get to this point. A minimum of 2 years. And what I've just said is relevant because I want to let all of you know that it takes time. This isn't something that just happens the day you want it to. Or perhaps, sorry, let me try that again. It can happen like the flip of a switch. But if it doesn't, it's okay. If it doesn't, please just know that it will take time. Years, maybe. If you've been watching YouTube since you were like 8 years old, and say you're now 17, that's 9 years worth of habits that you've built that you now consider are unwanted. As a child, you may have wanted to do them things because you would have, as we all want stimulation regardless of age. It's just that as children, we don't know how to go about it in a healthy and constructive way. We don't know what's healthy for the mind, what's unhealthy for the mind. We don't know. We're just children just starting to get to know how to say goo goo gaga, let alone understand what's this healthy stimulant and what's an unhealthy stimulant. I don't think there's any child that know what the word stimulant means. When I say child, I mean someone in the single digits. Like, come on. The next piece of advice I give you is that whenever you started, forgive that person. Forgive that 10-year-old self, for example. That version of yourself didn't know any better. Forgive him or her. That's what I've got to do right now. I've got to forgive that younger version of myself. To not say I'm sorry, but the opposite. To say that I forgive you. 10-year-old, 11, 12, 13-year-old me. I forgive you. You didn't know any better. You didn't know how to go about things in a healthy, constructive way. You didn't know what was healthy. My family didn't eat the healthiest of foods, nor did they lead healthy lives that I want to lead right now. And I forgive myself for not knowing better and for not being in a position where there are many male mentors that were father figures that let me know that there's more to life than unhealthy foods, low protein meals. I forgive you because you didn't know any better. And I advise you guys to forgive yourself. Your younger you who started watching YouTube and allowed himself or herself to build a mental dependence on that app. Just to make it clear, to make myself clear, can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what worked for me. Now, there are 2 other things that have worked for me, yeah. One thing more than the other, but they've still both worked for me nonetheless. One, the predominant thing, going out in nature. I'll explain this one first. Before I do, I'll say what the second one is. Writing in a YouTube detox journal every single day offline on Microsoft OneNote. But not everyone will have Microsoft Office OneNote. But I can tell you what everyone does have. Somewhere, somehow, or at least what most people have, access to nature, a park, something. That's what I did. I went to a park to go and lie down in nature, completely, legs on the floor like this, arms on the floor like this, feeling the grass in between my fingers, and just looking up at the sky. I went to do this with the motives of wanting to undo that YouTube addiction that I created. The first time I did this was to undo mindlessly viewing YouTube content, as in YouTube videos. So I did this, and it worked. It's just that it took less than 2 weeks to get to the point where I'm at today. 12 days since making the 2 movies. Those 2 movies were so worth it. Yeah, it took 6 hours to film, but it was so worth it. Because now I'm at this point where I'm about to make some serious, obvious transformations in my life, which I'll get onto later. But for now, let's talk about nature. Almost rhymed. Hey, come on. So I went to a park and I was just lying down on the floor like this, looking up at the sky. And it was no mat, just a hoodie on. I had my dark blue Nike hoodie on with my hood up, so no dog shit or bird shit or cat shit went on my head top, and my hands were just placed on the floor like this. It was so comfortable. But I went with the motives of wanting to undo my mindlessly viewing YouTube content. If you want to go, please, you don't have to, but please go with the motives of wanting to change whatever it is you want to change. You want to go with the motives that you want to improve. No. For me, my way of thinking about this was I went out yesterday to go lie down in the park because I wanted to, my wording was to undo the YouTube addiction I created from a content creator side, like looking at mindlessly consuming YouTube data, views, subscriber count, impressions, like looking who, seeing how many people viewed, seeing how many times your thumbnails are viewed, all of that. I went there to undo that for good, and I really believe I have. I looked at analytics today once, and I almost went twice. So I looked at it once on the laptop, and then I almost went on it on the phone because I knew I'd have to create content. No, I want to create content. But now, no, I don't want to anymore. After going out in nature yesterday, I don't want to anymore. I classified it after I was finished. I didn't overdo it. When it was time for me, when I felt ready to get up, I got up. There was one time I sat up, I felt the need to sit back down. Gotta do what you gotta do. No, to lie back down, sorry. But then when it was time to get up, it was time to get up. I dusted myself off, and then I walked. I enjoyed my walk. Went to the gym, saw there was a whole bunch of ladies, a whole load of females just jumping on trampolines. There was a whole load of women just jumping on trampolines. Small trampolines, like a HIIT workout. I asked one of the ladies that's in the weightlifting section of the gym, yo, what's going on? She was saying that she used to work there, that there's a trampoline class going on. As it's a HIIT workout, she explained to me that it's a HIIT workout. But she said she'd never been before. So I was like, how do you know so much if you've never been? You used to work there, apparently. Yeah. For me, man, going out in nature, that's the main thing that solved it. But if you want something, the second thing, or actually no, let's stay back on this nature thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with nature, but when you lie down, just comfortable clothing, hoodie up, so there's no cat shit, dog shit, or bird shit going in your hair. I always look back before lying down to make sure that I'm lying down on just soil, at least as much as I can be. And then I go and lie down. But when I do, the peace I experience, and just lying down, just laying my feet, extending my feet on the grass. It's just like one of the most comforting mats out there in the world. But we're meant to be so natural. We're not meant to be stuck up in offices. We're not meant to be stuck in offices wearing those fucking iron trousers and iron shirts, man. Buying those so unnatural computers. We're meant to be moving around. We're meant to be in nature, looking at leaves, wanting to eat berries and shit. Not this sitting down behind a computer all day. The peace I experienced from doing that, lying down, just tracky bottoms, some trainers, and some GCSE PE trainers, which I still have even after less than 5 years, and a hoodie, basic hoodie, just laid down on the most comfortable mat in the world, grass. And when I do this with the motives or whatever it is, it's just amazing. And it worked for me, so I'd say, please go and try it out. But when you do, please go with the motives of wanting to actually undo, in this case, the YouTube addiction that you've created for good. There's a commenter who was on my Solving the YouTube Addiction for Good this time. That commenter, name beginning with A, profile name beginning with A, got something to say. I certainly do have more advice for you and people like you, and I'm nowhere near finished. But it's not the chains of content pulling you back. It's not, trust me. They're your actions. You have put in consistent action to get to a point where you believe you have a YouTube addiction. You did that. You did that. And even I did that. And it's about time that we take some accountability. It's not the chains of content pulling us back. It's not. It's time to take accountability and to say that you did this to yourself. And you know what? That's more than okay. I'm not going to say you should like that you did this to yourself. I'm not going to try and make try and put my opinions onto you, project my opinions and how I think about things onto you. Nope. You're free to think your own opinions, and I'll really do my utmost best to remember that I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what worked for me, and to not project my beliefs and my opinions onto other people by saying, you should do this, you can't do this. Who the fuck am I to tell you what you can and can't do? Whatever you want to do is up to you. We're all in this together, you know. As brothers and sisters, I wanted to say, we're all in this together. And it's up to us to share our ideas and to create content like this on a daily basis, every single day, even if it's 5 minutes. Just get the phone, go on the camera, press play, press record, and then upload it onto YouTube and edit it. I use CapCut, that's what I'm using right now. You can use that. It's free and you can get so many transitions. So big up CapCut for this final project. Shout them out. Get more people using the app. It's an app worth using though. I've been using it for months. Since less than 2 months. Just getting on to over a month really. Since day 79. And it's now day 123 of this plank journey. But yeah, please, commenter beginning with A, please take accountability. It's you that did this to yourself. You're saying that you're in school right now and that you got homework. Make it a priority to create content every single day. Even if it's 10 seconds, even if it's half a minute, even if it's 2 minutes. Motherfucker, you got 2 minutes to spare. From there, you can build off that. And for you personally, commenter beginning with A, I'd say an amazing start for you would be to talk about wanting to undo your YouTube addiction that you created. It's not just your YouTube addiction, it's one that you created. Gotta remember that. We need to take accountability here in order to move forward. That's what I've had to do, and now look at me. I really believe that I've gotten rid of my YouTube addiction completely. And as I was saying, I like the fact that I did this to myself, because this is a place that I've been able to grow from now, after years of doing it ever since I was a prepubescent kid. I thought the word was always said prepubescent, but no, it's prepubescent. Ever since I was a prepubescent kid, I've been making my eyes glued to the screen. I did that as a child, potentially all the way when I was single digits, from maybe like 8 or 9, or maybe 10, 11, 12, back when I was just starting to watch porn, which I no longer do anymore. That's a whole other topic for a different day. I'm not going to get into that now. I like that I did this to myself, because this is a place that I can now grow from. I certainly wouldn't have liked it if I stayed in that position, no. But it's a place that I've been able to grow from now, and that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. I wouldn't have otherwise been able to grow in this way of life and set myself up for growth from now on, if I didn't have this stimulus to grow, this want to change, this want to undo the YouTube addiction that I create for good. Another piece of advice, it's not the second one that I plan to talk about, but the other piece of advice I give is what was it? Oh, yes, I remember. Use YouTube videos. Don't intend to watch them. Intend to use them. If you're going to watch a YouTube video, please immediately apply what you're watching. For example, if you didn't know how to iron shirts like me, get the ironing board out, get your iron, put the water in the iron, maybe even get a jar so that you can add more water in the iron without having to go to the kitchen tap or to the bathroom tap, depending on whether you're doing it upstairs or downstairs. Please use the videos that you're watching, immediately apply them. That helped me. That was a way that I was able to help myself in order to undo. And the word that I was coming up with in my mind was break, to break that YouTube addiction that I created. Yeah. It did help, because that was a part of me not mindlessly watching YouTube videos, but I go in one ear and out the other while I watch self-improvement creators, mental health creators. It just go in one ear, out the other most of the time, like 99% of the time. In my head I was thinking, this video could be very unwatchable, but you know what? For the people that are seriously searching for information, those motherfuckers will stay. You lot will stay. Alright, listen. Now time to get on to the main second topic of advice that I give. Everyday detox journal. Not on Google, please. Please don't stay. If you're using it, please don't stay on Google Docs. Please don't. Instead, use Microsoft Office OneNote or use an offline program. Microsoft Word. You can use Microsoft Word. I mean, both like Windows and Mac computers, they have them. I wonder if there'll be another style of computer in the future, but you know what? Another main well-known style of computer in the future. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, if you don't have OneNote, please use Microsoft Word. Make a journal offline, basically. OneNote is online, so I am contradicting myself in that regard. However, if you type in YouTube on OneNote, the website's not going to come up. Unless you make a hyperlink and then copy and paste the YouTube video link or the YouTube website link or YouTube domain link, I think you may call it. Yeah, that leads to the main website that has the interface in there. If you just type up YouTube, then that's not going to happen. But whereas if you're on Google, you can just have the site. There's a URL bar there. You could type in YouTube and then www.youtube.com. It comes up. Then there you go. You're on the site, which is unwanted. If you want to undo the YouTube addiction for good, every day is the answer. Every single day you've got to work on this thing. But I had a detox journal. Oh, it's time to get into it now. Yeah, it's time to get in. YouTube detox journal. Just write whatever you want in it. If you've got a laptop or even a phone, just write in it. Write on Microsoft Word. Write in iPhone notes. Or if it's Android, use download a notes app. Download a note-taking app and just type away. I personally prefer the laptop because it's bigger. I mean, other stuff on there. That's a part of me being able to live the life I truthfully want to live. So I prefer the laptop. But if you want to use the phone, I mean, it's a start. And you don't have to use a laptop just because that worked for me doesn't mean you have to use it. In life, there isn't just one way, one very specific way of going about things. That's just not how life works. There are multiple ways. Different things will work for different people. But these are all just ideas that you can take. If you don't want to use them, you don't want to use them. If you want to use them, you can use them. You can use one of them, you can use all of them. It's up to you, but this is what's worked for me. Yesterday I wrote in the detox journal, and it was, you know, this right here, writing in the detox journal. If you're literally just starting and you're just wanting to make a change, I'd say allow yourself to get away from the phone, and then instead go to the laptop and go on something like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office OneNote, as I said, and just type all of it. You don't even have to write a title, just type all of the thoughts that you have in your mind about wanting to undo it. Just type. You can make the title later. Put the phone away, out of sight. This helped me. I put the phone away and then I was writing on the laptop about the detox, me wanting to undo the YouTube addiction for good. I'd also say create videos. No, instead of picking up YouTube, pick up the camera and record yourself, record your thoughts on your mind. I don't know about you, yeah, but I can speak a lot faster than I can type, and I can speak a lot faster than I can write. And I'd like to think that that's the case for every single person that's out there. Sean Rona may be able to, WRONA, that is, he may be able to actually type as fast as he can speak. They're the odd few that have actually taken the time to learn and become world class in like typing and that. Shout out to him for that. That's what he wanted to do. And if it's what he wanted to do, big him up for it. Shout him out. But yeah, please pick up the camera. It helped me, and yesterday I picked up the camera yesterday and said, this is me saying goodbye to the YouTube addiction that I created completely. Me saying goodbye. And now, yeah, I've said goodbye. There's one last piece of advice that I'd add though, and that I'd like everyone to take from this. If I was speaking to my 18-year-old self, I'm 20 now by the way, if I'm speaking to my 18-year-old self outside the bedroom door saying that I want to undo this YouTube addiction and that I want to change, if I was speaking to that version of myself, if I had 1 second, if I had 5 seconds, if I had 5 seconds to spend with him, it would be, I'd say, if you want to get rid of your YouTube addiction, please add wanted habits. Don't think about, instead of thinking about wanting to take things away. And if that was the 5 seconds, that's the 5 seconds. That fucking worked. It's what worked. Add going out in nature, going out in parks and just lying down with your comfortable gear on, tracky bottoms, trainers, hoodie, hood up, so no shit goes into my hair and no spit goes into my hair either. I'm just here chilling. That worked. Picking up the camera worked. Writing in a detox journal every day worked, and it's still working. Please, if there's any one thing that I'd like everyone to take away from this, is please, instead of focusing on stopping the YouTube addiction and to stop doing that habit and restricting yourself, please stop thinking this way. Please instead think about adding habits that you want in your life, that you think will benefit you now, short term and long term. Please. add. Please add, instead of thinking, oh, you need to stop doing this. Instead of trying to restrict yourself. No, forget that. Add. Please, please, please add. Please. Damn, it's been 22 minutes and 45 seconds now since filming this one clip. There's so much to think about, man. But yeah, if there's any one thing I'd tell my 18-year-old self that wanted to undo the YouTube addiction that he created for potentially 8 years, 8 to 10 years, please, please, please stop trying to restrict yourself, please. Instead, think about adding. Go out to nature and lay down, just chill out. Give yourself a few minutes. You like walks, long walks, that are hours long, so that you can escape the toxic environment that you're in, that very unhealthy environment where you're in, where there's so much shouting, so much hostility in your mind that you've created, so much resentment that you have towards yourself, your parents, every single family member, all of your siblings. You like going on for long walks, and yes, going from long walks came from an unhealthy place as a coping mechanism to be able to escape that environment. But you know what? Why not use it to your advantage? You already were. By doing them, you already were. So why not just go to a park and just lay down? You have a spot. You have a park that you go to. Just lay down in your comfortable gear, your tracksuit bottoms, your trainers that you've had for years, the black Nike ones, you know what I'm talking about, and the hoodie, maybe even that black Nike hoodie that was too big for you, and the black Nike tracksuit bottoms that were way too baggy. You can go in that gear and just legs extended, fully extended, arms fully out on the grass, and just enjoy the feeling of nature beneath you. Enjoy it. Stroke the grass in between your fingers, even if you want to, and you want to really just somehow take out that resentment that you've had towards basically everyone in your life, except the odd few. Grab the grass, pull it out, curl it up into balls, and feel the grass, and then do the same. Allow yourself, instead of being consumed by hatred and resentment because you didn't work through all of the racism that you experienced in school, all of the bullying that you experienced in school, all of the bullying you did onto others in school. Please let the peace that you experience from lying down in the grass, the most comfortable mat in the world, the most natural mat in the world, please allow the peace to consume you, engulf you. Just relax. This genuinely could be turning into a meditation session, if anything. But I'm telling you, this shit works. Please, just please, 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 pretty fucking please. If there's anything I tell all of you guys out there, is to add things instead of trying to restrict yourself and saying, oh, I want to stop doing this, I want to stop doing that. I'm telling you from personal experience, I've been there, done that. The shit doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's a starting point to be able to tell your mind, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Fine, but it's no more than a starting point. For years, I allowed myself to stay stuck at that starting point. And you know what? I forgive myself because I've now grown from that opportunity. You don't need to be stuck like me. You don't need to stay stuck in that place like me where you keep on trying to restrict yourself. Saying, oh, this could go for anything in life, anything you want to achieve in life. Instead of trying to restrict yourself, focus on adding the things you do want to add, on the things you do want to have in your life. And then eventually, all of those things, they'll add up so much that you won't want to do those unwanted habits habits you're once doing anymore, and that you once thought you were addicted to anymore. And from now on, from this very moment onwards, I no longer have that addiction at all. I just know it. Even though I went out in the nature yesterday, and even though I started writing in the journal consistently yesterday, I know and I believe in myself that it's gone permanently. What my efforts, they've completely written it off. Or written them off, actually, because there was the mindlessly consuming YouTube videos and then mindlessly consuming YouTube data, like views of this channel, subscribe account, blah blah blah. Yeah, I've done it. I've done it, and then I think I'll now have to really get into like going back to nature and doing the same thing with the intentions of wanting to get in shape, to transform my body, to transform my life. Yesterday I was looking at jobs on CV Library that I got on via Gmail. I was thinking, fuck that. I'm not packing. I'm not packing boxes. I deserve more than that. I'm not packing boxes. Who out there that's on their way to being who out there that's on their way to having a six-figure having the financial status of 6 figures, financially self-reliant, financially free? Who out there is going on CV Library to be able to do that? Nah. As far as I'm concerned, those guys are making shit happen. And that's what I gotta do. I gotta make shit happen. And I already am, to be fair. Getting in contact with Luke Spurgeon. Oh, that's another piece of advice I give. Believe in yourself. Very cliche advice, but it fucking works. But the way how you believe in yourself, or the way at least how I believe in myself, is to make my actions reaffirm my beliefs. Seek validation. That's what I do. I seek validation. But through my actions, not through people. Not through telling people, oh no, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I need help. No. Fuck all that. I've got this outlet, I can talk. I can release my thoughts on, then that's fine. That's what I need. That's all I need. And I, from now on, forever, always have a place to release my thoughts. It's what's allowed me to transform my mind, my life. But I can understand the views and the viewers, the views, the subscribers, the likes, the dislikes, all of the comments. They will come much more strongly for this channel. And because of my efforts, I was going to say for me, that's why I was tapping my chest. Because of my efforts and on this channel, they're going to come in much larger amounts later on down the line. Because people are more likely, during that time in the future, they'll be much more likely to see me as a been there, done that person, instead of now as I'm working through things. And like, for example, getting in shape, I'm working my way to getting and staying in the most amazing physique of my life. And when I get to that point where I've stayed in it for quite a long while, I think it will be then that people start asking for advice, which is fair enough, because they've clearly seen that, okay, we know where you started and you got to this point. All right, I'm listening. Your physique transformation's the proof that you're not chatting shit. You've done something. It's the proof you've done something. Not necessarily that you're not lying, but it's proof that you've done something. That you've trained, you've made a diet that works for you, that you've stuck to. Diet doesn't necessarily mean restrictions. Diet is what you eat on a everyday basis, on a daily basis. Even if it's unhealthy, it's what you eat on a daily basis. People try and make it seem like diet is only a healthy, like 12-week plan. No. And fuck that way of thinking. Fuck that way of thinking. I'm done talking about the YouTube addiction, man. I don't have it anymore. Even after this day when I went to nature yesterday and to lay down and to be able to undo it, it's gone. It's gone. You gotta believe in yourself. When you say it's gone, it's gone. When you truthfully believe in yourself, your actions will follow. Trust me. You will know when you truthfully believe in yourself. And right now, I truthfully believe in myself. And for the rest of my life, I'll truthfully believe in myself because my actions reaffirm my beliefs. Now it's time. I think I found it. The thing. The one thing I think I found it that's going to allow me to transform my body and also transform my life in the form of a book by Cash V something. I'm going to stop this clip now to be able to understand how I actually found it. I was going through the tablet instead of looking through YouTube analytics and data and stuff. I was on the tablet instead of on the phone because I put the phone away. I was finished with the productivity check at like 7 p.m. yesterday, so I put the phone away out of a different outside in a different room, and I went on my tablet instead. The tablet my dad gave me, nonetheless. I'd like to be self-reliant and pay for shit my own goddamn self, but we're on the way to that happening. Trust me, and I trust myself. I think if there are any times that I need to go out, if I need to go out with the following motives in nature, I need to go out in nature with the following motives to get and stay in shape and to be making money from fun things that pay me a lot of money. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna stop this clip to find out what I was looking at before I actually found the book. It was from R&T Fitness, but I mean everything before that. I'm actually going to go and look through my search history. I was looking at male model physiques, but I want to get into more detail to remind to be able to remind myself. Yeah. The YouTube addiction talk's done, by the way. It's finished. Okay, so as I was saying, I think I found the thing that I found. This one thing I found, I think is going to mean I do what it takes. I take the full plunge in transforming my body and transforming my life for good, like how the title of the book says. It's the title of the book's called Transform Your Body, Transform Your Life. That's what I'm referring to, if that wasn't clear enough already. I've certainly referred to it earlier on in the video, but I'm going to speak strictly on this now, and this is why this photo in particular is up right now. Okay, so this one right here. I was looking at a typed up model physique male because I'm interested in doing modeling as a fun thing that pays, and as a part of the Road to Making Megabucks series, I have gone and looked at male model physiques. I did that yesterday, and I've actually kept a 30-second clip of it so that I have an idea of the sort of physique that I'd consider ideal. And you know what? Listen to this. So I was looking at all of the images there were on Google Images, and I came up upon this one. I found this one. And I thought, you know what? This one right here is realistic. So I clicked on it. I read it completely. And then I found this. When I was seeing it initially, I was thinking, this could be a bit shady. Because look at how much his physique has changed in quote unquote 4 months. I don't know, man. Like, maybe a year. That's what I was thinking. Maybe a year, but not no fucking 4 months. But then I keep scrolling and scrolling, and then I find this fucking thing, this book here, and I think it's what's gonna allow me to transform my life. It'll be something that I read. That will mean I allow myself to transform my life completely by transforming my body completely and then mastering every other aspect of my life. I went on the free preview on the tablet and then I read through it and I just did not take my eyes off the screen. I had to force myself off the screen because I was reading so much. I really think that I'll be able to apply this in my life and transform my body and transform my life for good. GOOD, for good, as in permanently. I want to buy it. With the other books like 48 Laws of Power, The Art of Seduction, I liked reading the book summaries. But this one right here, I wasn't taking my eyes off the screens because I was just reading and reading and reading. I read the whole 55-page preview in 2 goes. Some of it was the index, or some of it was the contents, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't have that same eye glue. My eyes weren't glued to the screen like how they were when reading this book. So I'm gonna go fucking buy it, and I'm gonna use the Amazon Prime trial to go fucking buy it and make sure that it comes in ASAP. We need it ASAP because I need to start transforming my life now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. I need to start putting in more work now. I found this opportunity. I'm considering it an opportunity. And trust me, I want to read that fucking book. The way how my eyes were glued to that screen. I'm reading that fucking book. I'm buying it and I'm going to read it. It's less than £15 on Amazon. I have the money. Money's not an issue. I can buy that book. Yeah. I could buy that book and money's not an issue to go and get it. I just need to do it. And I'm going to use the Amazon Prime trial so that I can do it and that it comes in ASAP. Need it ASAP. ASAP. I value this opportunity that I have, and I really think this is me reading it is going to be the one thing that allows me to make major, significant progress, because reading the preview itself has meant that I'm significantly challenging my ways of thinking towards how I look at myself. More specifically, how I look at my body. After reading the book, I'm now really starting to believe that the body is a physical representation of the mind, and my body right now is looking underdeveloped. I've heard a similar concept from Broly Gaines. In where one of the videos are talking about the mindset that you had, or that they have, physically manifests itself into the body. So it's a very similar concept. And look at the physique of those guys. Mentally and physically strong people. And I'm intending to look strong like Broly Gaines. Not only look it, but actually be it. Not just look, but be it. And have my mind physically manifest, have the mental shift that I'm building physically manifest. Or be shown through my body. So yeah, sorry, that's what I meant to say. I'll have the mindset that I'm really intending to make a strong person. I'll show that in the form of my physical body, and then as I transform my body, my mind will have to change as well, even a lot more than it has done right now. Because all of the thoughts, all of the decisions, regardless of how minor, have led me to this point where my physique at 20 years old is this. It could have been looking, if I put 6 years worth of efforts, it could have been looking like Nathaniel Messiah's. I don't know what PEDs he's on. He could be on PEDs, or maybe he's not. Whether he is, that's none of my business. But I'm just saying, like, a physique like that, I could have a physique like that at my age. If I just worked or put in the efforts to go exercise earlier. But I didn't really know about exercise. I didn't know that I could exercise. maybe back then when I was very young, when he started making YouTube content, from as far as I'm aware anyway, at age 14, I could have been working out at age 14, but I was too busy playing video games and enjoying the stimulation that I got from video games. I didn't know how to go about it in a healthy way, but now I do, and I can now live the rest of my life with that understanding that games, although games are stimulating, I don't want to play video games anymore, and I haven't done in a while. The last time I played games consistently was about a year ago, last year, during the times when I was playing like GTA San Andreas on the PS2. I thought I did give it away to my sister, but it's just here. Even though she's moved out, it's just here, which I didn't actually realise until like yesterday or a couple of days ago. But that's not the point. I mean, look at the physique. The physique is underdeveloped. Certainly not the unhealthiest it's been. Absolutely not the unhealthiest it's been, but I can do so much better than this. So much better than this, and I know I can. I've just got to read. I've got to buy that book today. Today I'm buying that book. No hesitation. I'm buying that book. No hesitation. And yeah, I want to allow it to transform my life. But I don't like all the words they're saying. They're good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. I don't like all that, because I believe that I don't want to speak like that, because I've heard children speak to me like that, using that wording when they're trying to learn how to do stuff. So I'm not interested in that. I don't want that for myself. But this right here, reading that book, I really believe is going to be the one thing that I will do, and that I'll look at, and I'll read and digest. That will mean that I do what it takes to transform my life completely, by transforming my body first. And I'll be able to live the rest of my life knowing that I'll be in the physique of my dreams for good, number one, and that when I am making all of these money moves, when I carry on making all of these money moves, I still have my health. If I undergo setbacks, I'll be able to deal with them, because I would have been able to deal with setbacks in my body. I mean, because of feeling so much fear, I did so many workouts, so many cardio workouts. I was doing cardio workouts 5 times a week. Every single day they had the class on, I was there for 2 weeks, and now I was doing it so often with improper form that my foot swole. My right foot swole. The joint around my right big toe is swole, and I potentially could have a bunion. I'm on the way to getting rid of it. If that means I have to do what I have to do and I have to get surgery, then yeah. But I mean, does it affect my life, my everyday life? No, it doesn't. But I want my body to look in complete health, complete in check. I want it to look amazing, in the best health it can look. And that excludes the bunions. Even though I certainly can live my life without them, I'd rather my feet not have them. But yeah, I'm going to buy the book today. No hesitation. I really think this is it. The thing that I read, digest, and apply to my life. I just couldn't stop reading. I couldn't stop looking at it. And I think that's just the sign, the go ahead to actually do it. Buy that book. Use the Amazon Prime trial. Do what I need to do in order to transform my life. Do what I need to do. Even if that means I can't use the Amazon Prime trial again, that's fine. But buy the fucking book. Buy it. Because I really believe that this is what I'll do, what the information I'll digest and apply in my life, that will mean that I actually completely transform as a person. Alright, there's one more thing that needs to be said before I end the video. So yeah, I was saying that I'm seeing the body as a physical representation of the mind. And my body's looking underdeveloped. Also neglected. My body is looking neglected. Ashy elbows, dry lips, dry knees. When I was thinking this way and I was looking at my body in the kitchen, I was thinking, no, I'm not standing for this. I won't settle for this. I am not settling for this. I put cream on my elbows and my knees, and I put Vaseline on my lips. I put cocoa butter on my elbows and my knees, and I put Vaseline on my lips. I am not settling for a neglected body. I will not neglect my body anymore. What are the odds that if I'm neglecting my body, I'm neglecting my mind? If I'm neglecting my physical body, what are the odds I'm neglecting what's in between that fucking cranium of mine? Come on now. Yes, it's time. It's time to change. Big time. I've been saying it's time to change. And I have. But this change, I'm gonna be looking sexier than ever. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious with the way how my body will be looking. This isn't my entire body, obviously. It's just my upper torso, my front upper torso. And I do have to remind myself of that, because this isn't, what I'm showing here isn't just my body. It's not, let me explain. You're only seeing the upper front torso. You're seeing the torso and just the front of it. You're not seeing everything else. You're not seeing my back. You're not seeing my legs. There's more to my body than just my abs and my chest and my arms and my shoulders, my forearms. But yeah, the main reason why I took these photos anyway is to be able to see my abs. What was it? Just have to be able to have a basic understanding, of what my abs look like and what my front upper torso looks like, just in general. I wasn't thinking about it in this way, but that's what it's done. But yeah, man, I'm going to buy the book today, and I'm just going to get on with it. I'm doing it today, now. I'm using the resources I have, the Amazon Prime free trial, Amazon, the money that I have over left from student loan. I'm using the resources I do have to be able to start really transforming my life big time. And it starts now. I'm getting things. I need these resources ASAP to be able to transform my life. Like the book, I need that. I'm not waiting a few days. I'll wait one day. I need it ASAP, as soon as possible. So yeah, I'm going to buy the book today. And I'm no longer going to neglect my body and my mind. And as I transform my body, I'll also be transforming my mind and doing the equivalent of putting lotion on my mind, strengthening it as well, going to the gym. I'll be doing the mental equivalent of going to the gym. All of that, it will all come as I train my body to be in the best shape of my life, for life, like how the book says. But anyway, I'm gone. I think I've said everything that I need to say in this video. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm just going to have a look. One more thing about the YouTube addiction thing. Before I actually went out to nature, I just went out and lay down in nature. I decided to go and record. I put the phone outside. Then I wrote in the YouTube detox journal, and then I gave myself tips on how to improve, and then I recorded myself about saying goodbye to the YouTube addiction. And then I said after that I'm going to nature, so I did, and I've now just been able to progress drastically. It's just, honestly, man, it's the first few seconds, minutes and hours that are the most difficult to getting rid of the YouTube addiction anyway. Or not getting rid of it, but adding so many things that you just naturally undo it, and you naturally undo that mental dependence from the YouTube addiction that you've created from YouTube, and the mental addiction that you created on YouTube as you were mindlessly consuming YouTube videos as a prepubescent child and an adolescent, and also an adult, depending on how old you are and how long you've been doing it for and when you started. The things that I'm adding to replace this YouTube addiction is going out in nature with motives like, I'm going to think about making big money. I'm going to think about being in the best shape of my life, looking the sexiest. I'm going to think about being a world-class ladies man, all of that. I'm going to go out to nature and just allow myself to think about it and just let it happen. Just let these things happen and come to me due to the actions I'm putting in. I'm not just thinking about it in a delusional way. I am putting actions towards it, trust me. But yeah, I just let it happen and let all these ways of growing, let the channel growing as well, for example, let all of these things come to me due to my actions. Thinking about it in nature, allowing myself to experience peace and actually working, putting in action, other than just thinking in nature and enjoying life, but putting in action to make shit happen, get connections, network, make big money, have fun doing it as well. Don't have to go and get qualifications, don't have to go to school, but you can make business ideas. You can do all this stuff. You don't have to go to A-levels in uni to do it. You don't. And I'm just going to prove that. I'm not using any of my A-level qualifications or GCSE qualifications to be able to do what I truthfully want to do in life. I'd say the GCSEs were useful, but anything just so I could read, write, speak and listen in English and be able to do basic maths, add, subtract, multiply and divide. But other than that, that was it, really. That was all school was useful for. That was where we actually all learned something. We all learned something. We all have a basic understanding of how to speak English and how to do maths, how to add, subtract, divide and multiply. We all have a very basic understanding. Regardless of how basic, we have a very basic understanding of these things. Like knowing what 1 + 1 is and all that. We have a basic understanding of these things. But anyway, yeah, I'm gone. I feel very happy that... Sorry. The things that I'm doing. So going out in nature, I'm reading to replace... wanted to look at YouTube analytics and also daily detox journal. On that note, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one. When a video exports from CapCut to the camera roll to be able to upload it onto YouTube, I'm going to actually just read and look at the plans, what I've set myself to do for today. But other than that, that's it. Hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one. Do what you need to do to transform your life, lads and lasses. And if you make the art of transforming your life a daily habit, trust me, you will transform. Trust me, you will transform. But anyway, I'm gone. Love you all and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.